I repeat once again, SRP is the measure of delta H total. If delta H total negative, E naught negative. If delta H total positive, E naught positive. Means for a given particular oxidation state, E naught you may have negative, E naught you may have positive. Now here, E naught of M plus 2 oblique M for 3D series elements they have mentioned from scandium to zinc, and information is not given for scandium. For titanium, if you see, E naught of M plus 2 oblique M is minus 1.63. For vanadium, E naught of M plus 2 oblique M is minus 1.18. See, except for copper, for all the remaining elements, E naught of M plus 2 oblique M is what, say, negative. Only for copper it is positive. What does it mean? Let us see, students. E naught of titanium plus 2 oblique titanium is minus 1.63. E naught of copper plus 2 oblique copper is plus 0.34. And if you look at this, students, just now we discussed that E naught for a given transition element may be negative and E naught may be positive. It depends on delta H total. It depends on delta H total. And here in this case, if E naught value is negative, E naught may be positive. It may be negative value, it may be positive value. It belongs to the first species. First species. And here, if E naught value is negative, then that particular oxidation state is stable oxidation state. If E naught value positive, then the particular oxidation state is less stable oxidation state. So in this way, negative E naught, stable oxidation state, positive E naught, less stable oxidation state. Based on this, I can say that titanium plus 2 is more stable when compared with copper plus 2, students. And here, two species are given. One is titanium plus 2, the other one is titanium. And titanium plus 2 I wrote stable because I told you E naught value negative means stable, E naught value positive means less stable. And between titanium plus 2 and titanium, if titanium plus 2 is stable, titanium is taken as less stable. At the same time, between copper plus 2 and copper, if I write copper plus 2 is less stable, then copper is comparatively stable species. And here, see, students, what is happening in chemistry? Always less stable species try to convert into stable species. If I ask you titanium try to convert into titanium plus 2, titanium plus 2 try to convert into titanium means less stable species try to convert into stable species. Means here titanium by losing 2 electrons becoming titanium plus 2. This is the reaction happening, and here 0 is becoming plus 2. 0 becoming plus 2 means oxidation number is increased, means titanium is participating in oxidation reaction, and the one which participates in oxidation reaction known as reducing agent. Means based on this I can say titanium behaves as reducing agent, and we know that E naught value negative means with negative E naught species can act as reducing agent. And here in this case, between copper plus 2 and copper, if I ask you copper plus 2 is less stable because with plus 2 oxidation state we have positive E naught. E naught value positive means that is less stable oxidation state, and here copper is stable. If I write a reaction, copper by losing 2 electrons becoming copper plus 2. This reaction is taking place or not taking place, or means this reaction is not taking place because what I wrote, copper is becoming copper plus 2. Here stable is becoming unstable, which won't happen, means copper is not behaving as reducing agent. And see, students, E naught of titanium plus 2 oblique titanium is minus 1.63 volts, and I told you it may be negative value, it may be positive value, it belongs to the first species. And E naught value negative means the species is what, say, stable species, and E naught value positive means that species is what, say, less stable species. And titanium plus 2 stable means titanium is what, say, less stable. And here what is happening? See, students, I took a container filled with acid. Acid means in this solution what are present? H plus ions are present, and in this I kept a titanium rod. And what is happening here? Less stable species always try to convert into stable species. What is happening? Titanium is becoming titanium plus 2 by releasing 2 electrons. And here these 2 electrons received by H plus ions, because H plus ions are present in this acidic solution. Those 2 electrons received by 2 H plus ions and liberation of H2. Means when we keep a titanium rod in acidic solution, from this solution which gas is liberated? Hydrogen gas. Because what is happening here? E naught is negative, so titanium plus 2 is stable, and comparatively titanium is less stable. So titanium is releasing 2 electrons. The released 2 electrons received by H plus ion forming hydrogen gas. Whereas here in this case, E naught value copper positive we wrote, and positive E naught means copper plus 2 is less stable. Less stable means copper is not releasing 2 electrons and not forming copper plus 2. When this reaction is not taking place, if you take a container filled with acid which contain H plus ions, in this if you keep a copper rod, when copper rod is not releasing electrons, when there is no electrons, H plus ions remains H plus only, and from this hydrogen gas is not released. And if they ask a question, in 3D series, which transition element cannot release hydrogen from dilute acids? Means copper, because of its positive E naught, whereas remaining 3D series elements can liberate hydrogen gas from dilute acids because of their negative E naught value. Now here, if you see E naught of m plus 3 oblique m plus 2, here also the values are given. Few transition elements are having negative E naught, at the same time few of them are having positive E naught. Let us compare these species. See, E naught of chromium plus 3 oblique chromium plus 2 is given as what, say, minus 0.41, whereas E naught of manganese plus 3 oblique manganese plus 2 is plus 1.57. And if you look at students, I told you E naught may be negative, E naught may be positive, and the value belongs to the first species. And I told you E naught value negative means stable we consider, and E naught value positive means we consider less stable. As a result, I say here E naught value negative, as it belongs to plus 3, so chromium plus 3 is what, say, stable species, and comparatively chromium plus 2 is what, say, less stable species. And I told you E naught is positive means less stable, and here E naught we got positive value, and it may be positive or negative, belongs to the first species. So manganese plus 3 is what, say, less stable. So manganese plus 2 is what, say, stable. And we know that always less stable species try to convert into stable species. So here I should say chromium plus 2 is trying to convert into chromium plus 3. Chromium plus 2 is converted into chromium plus 3, and plus 2 is becoming plus 3, which is known as oxidation reaction, And here if you ask chromium plus 3, so chromium atomic number is 24, 4s1 3d5. Then chromium plus 3 means 4s0 3d3. Why? Because it is losing 3 electrons, means 1 from here, 2 more from here, we got 4s0 3d3, and here d3 1 2 3 4 5. Actually D can accommodate 5 electrons, or you can say if you fill 10 electrons, it is fully filled. D10 is fully filled, D5 is exactly half filled, whereas D3 is what, say, neither fully filled nor exactly half filled. Then how can you explain this stability? Means if you write D3 configuration 1 2 3, see this, it splits into Eg and T2G orbitals, and when chromium plus 3 you drop in water, see this, water can behave as ligand. Water molecules can behave as what, say, ligands. In presence of ligands, the D subshell splits into two parts, two sets, Eg set of d orbital, T2G set of d orbital, and from down to up energy increases, and according to Aufbau rule, electrons are entered into low energy orbitals. I should fill these 3 electrons into T2g, and now T2g subshell is exactly half filled. Because of that reason, chromium plus 3 is stable. And here we can say chromium plus 3 is stable because chromium plus 3 is exactly half filled T2g subshell in aqueous medium where water molecules are behaving as ligands. And here if you see, manganese plus 3 has positive inert, and positive inert means it is less stable, and we know that less stable species always try to convert into what's a stable species. So what I should write, manganese plus 3 is becoming manganese plus 2, oxidation number is decreased, known as reduction reaction. So manganese plus 3 is behaving as oxidizing agent. So inert of manganese plus 3 oblique manganese plus 2 is positive. As a result, it is behaving as what's a oxidizing agent, since manganese plus 3 is participating in reduction reaction. And here again, if you see inert of M plus 3 oblique M plus 2 in 3D series elements from scandium to zinc, it is not regularly changing. See, few are having negative inert and few are having positive inert, because inert is a measurement of delta H total I told, and delta H total depends on 3 factors. They are enthalpy of sublimation, ionization enthalpy and hydration enthalpy. If hydration enthalpy is dominating, they are having negative inert. If sublimation enthalpy and ionization enthalpy dominates, then they are having positive inert. And if you see, inert of cobalt plus 3 oblique cobalt plus 2 is plus 1.97. If they ask you what is the nature of cobalt plus 3, what is the nature of cobalt plus 3, if they ask, say students, inert of cobalt plus 3 oblique cobalt plus 2 we got plus 1.97, and this value belongs to the first species. Inert value positive means this is unstable, or you can say less stable between 2 species. If one species is unstable or less stable, the other species is what's a stable species, and unstable species try to convert into stable species. So cobalt plus 3 by receiving 1 electron becoming cobalt plus 2, and plus 3 is becoming plus 2, again reduction reaction. The one which participates in reduction reaction known as oxidizing agent. So the nature of cobalt plus 3 is, it is oxidizing agent, and this is explained on the basis of inert of cobalt plus 3 oblique cobalt plus 2 is plus 1.97. Right. Now if you look at cobalt, nickel and copper and zinc, for cobalt, nickel, copper and zinc, the observed inert values are found to be more than calculated inert values. They may frame a question from this area. For which of the following transition elements, or you can say for which of the following D block elements, observed inert values are more when compared with calculated inert values? So the answer will be cobalt, nickel, copper and zinc. For these elements, observed inert values are greater than calculated inert values. At the same time, if you look at next point, inert of M plus 3 oblique M plus 2 is highest for zinc, they are asking. And here see this, inert of zinc plus 2 oblique zinc plus 3 oblique zinc plus 2, if you see, it will be very highly positive. The reason is what, say, zinc atomic number is 30, 4s2 3d10, and here zinc can easily form zinc plus 2 by losing 2 electrons from here, it becomes 4s0 3d10. But if you want to get zinc plus 3, you should remove one more electron, and that electron you should remove from 3d. And already here D is fully filled. Fully filled subshell means it is stable, and to remove electron from that we need very high ionization enthalpy. If ionization enthalpy is dominating, delta H total is more positive and inert also more positive. Because of that reason only, inert of zinc plus 3 oblique zinc plus 2 is very high, because removing electron from 3d10 is more difficult, more ionization enthalpy we need. At the same time, inert of M plus 3 oblique M plus 2 is more for manganese also given. The reason is inert of manganese plus 3 oblique manganese plus 2 is given plus 1.57, whereas inert of iron plus 3 oblique iron plus 2 is given 0.77 volts, students. And see, both are having positive E naught, but here comparatively more positive. E naught is more positive means delta H total is more positive. Reason is what, say here manganese plus 3 we should get. See students, manganese 25, 4s2, 3d5, and here manganese plus 2 means loss of 2 electrons. From here it become 3d5, but if you want to get manganese plus 3, you should remove electron, one more electron from stable d5 configuration, and to remove electron from d5 configuration we need more energy, more ionization enthalpy we need. Because of that reason only E naught is what, say more positive. But here compared with E naught of manganese, E naught of iron is what, say comparatively less. The reason is iron atomic number is what, say 26, 4s2, 3d6, and here iron plus 2 means loss of 2 electrons. They are from 4s0, 3d6, whereas iron plus 3 means loss of one more electron from 3d6. It is becoming 4s0, 3d5. See students, it is very easy to convert iron plus 2 into iron plus 3 because less stable d6 is converted to more stable d5. So we need less ionization enthalpy. When ionization enthalpy is less, E naught value also less because delta H total is less. That is the reason why E naught of manganese is more positive when compared with E naught of iron. Now we should discuss trends in stability of higher oxidation states. See, transition elements are exhibiting varieties of oxidation states. At the same time, they are also exhibiting highest oxidation states. Generally, transition elements are exhibiting their highest oxidation state with more electronegative elements like fluorine as well as with oxygen. And here vanadium can exhibit highest plus 5 in the form of VF5, and chromium can exhibit highest oxidation state plus 6 in the form of CrF6. And here manganese can exhibit highest oxidation state, that is plus 7, but not alone with fluorine in the form of MnO3F. See students, vanadium is exhibiting plus 5 in the form of VF5, chromium is exhibiting plus 6 in the form of CrF6, whereas manganese is not exhibiting MnF7 in the form of MnO3F. It is exhibiting highest plus 7 oxidation state. And here cobalt is exhibiting its highest plus 3 oxidation state in the form of COF3 because of its high lattice enthalpy. Because of its high lattice enthalpy, cobalt is exhibiting highest plus 3 with the help of fluorine in the form of COF3. And here compared with fluorine, generally transition elements are exhibiting their highest oxidation state with oxygen. Even fluorine is having more electronegativity. I repeat once again, compared with oxygen, fluorine is highly electronegative. Means generally elements should exhibit their highest oxidation state with fluorine, not with oxygen. But here what I am saying, in case of transition elements, transition metals are exhibiting their highest oxidation state with oxygen rather than fluorine. The reason is here oxygen is divalent element. I repeat once again, as oxygen is divalent element, even it is next to fluorine with respect to electronegativity, as oxygen is divalent element. Because of that reason, transition elements are exhibiting their highest oxidation state with oxygen. See here, scandium is exhibiting plus 3 in the form of Sc2O3, manganese is exhibiting plus 7 in the form of Mn2O7, iron can exhibit generally plus 2 and plus 3. We know that iron can exhibit generally ferrous plus 2, ferric plus 3, ferrous in the form of FeO, ferric in the form of Fe2O3, and you know one thing, iron can exhibit highest plus 6 oxidation state also. That is what, say FeO4 power minus 2. So in the form of FeO4 power minus 2, iron can exhibit plus 6 oxidation state, which is known as ferrates. Which is known as what, say ferrates. And why we are not regularly discussing this oxidation state? Because ferrates are unstable. They are what, say unstable. They are stable only in alkaline medium for some time. As a result, as they are less stable, generally we won't discuss, but iron regularly exhibits +2 and +3, and highest oxidation state exhibited by iron also along with oxygen in the form of FeO4-2, that is ferrates, which is unstable, readily decomposes, and its lifetime to little bit increase in alkaline medium, that means basic medium, right. Now if you discuss chemical reactivity on the basis of E0 values, see here, already we discussed, E0 of copper +2 copper is +0.34, E0 of zinc +2 zinc is -0.76 volts, students. And here, if I ask you between these two, which is more reactive towards acid, means undoubtedly this one. Why? Because here E0 value is negative. E0 value negative means it belongs to first species, and negative E0 means what I told, this is stable, and zinc +2 is stable means comparatively zinc is what, say, less stable, means zinc is readily converting into zinc +2. Zinc is readily converting into zinc +2 by releasing 2 electrons, means if I keep a container filled with acid, already as we discussed, which contain H+ ions, in this if you keep zinc rod, zinc is converted to zinc +2 by releasing 2 electrons, and these electrons received by H+ ions. 2H+ receives 2 electrons and H2 gas is released. And if I ask you here, copper rod if you keep in acidic solution, will it release hydrogen gas? Means it is not releasing. Reason is what, say, if you fill a container filled with acid which contain H+ ions, in that if you keep copper rod, here E0 is what, say, positive. Positive means what, say, it belongs to first species which is less stable. Means copper is not ready to convert into copper +2 because copper +2 is what, say, less stable. Means copper is not converting into copper +2 means there is no release of electrons, and here H+ ions remains H+, means between H+ ions and copper rod chemical reaction is not taking place, reactivity is less, hydrogen gas is not released. So here negative E0, it is reactive with acid, liberating hydrogen. E0 value positive, less reactive, not reacting with acid, not releasing hydrogen gas. And E0 value negative means it is acting as reducing agent. E0 value positive means it is acting as oxidizing agent.